Attention gamers. Growing up, the word broken always meant that something is no longer in a working condition. But then I started playing League of Legends and the word took on a whole new messed up meaning. Now broken is just a trigger word to indicate that my time and attention are about to be kidnapped, taken on a 15-minute joyride of wasted time, and then dumped on the side of the road like some coked up stripper. And while I know these titles are a trap, I always find myself clicking on them expecting to see some attack speed and Nivea wreaking havoc, only to be disappointed when I watch the entire video just to get jebaited with some average Joe Aatrox top build that is just a bit too standard for my satisfaction. So in this video I decided to do some Rab style research and find something in Korea that rocks the boat enough for my sped anus to actually want to try it. And this is what I found. There is some savage stud muffin over there named who is rocking an AP NUNU Support strategy where he just rolls snowballs up and down the river all game, taking fat yeti pisses all over the Grandmaster Elo, and so I figured if can rock a 62% win rate at that rank with this crap, then I should be able to piss some people off in silver with it. And if you are one of my first like 15 subs, you will know that me and this abominable snowman have a history. The clips you are seeing are from my first ever video I made. I have it muted, but if this video gets 40,000 likes, I will re-release it with its original audio as an authentic voice reveal. But in today's content, I will walk you through the build, the exact strategy that this dude uses to make it work, and then I will show you the result of my dumbass trying to replicate its success in the swamp slobber festival known as Silver Elo. But first, because I know there will be more snowflakes outside of the ones I will be rolling into balls and jamming down these jagoffs' throats, PR Rab here to say that is the actual pronunciation of that person's name for any crying Kathleen who has already creamed herself 6 times in the comment section trying to call me a bad person. If you are one of those people, please politely drink some piss. So if you want more of this content and potentially a cringy video revealing my voice, roll a fat danky snowball into that upward thumb button and subscribe for more. Let's start with the runes because there are some important details here. Roam is the name of the game, so Predator allows you to slip some bullet ants into your boots every so often to put some pep in your step, and it also makes your first post sprint bitch slap a big one, and then cheap shot because your snowballs, both big and small, put some stuns under little kids' buns. Eyeballs are just what the Yeti eats to get stronger, and then Ingenious Hunter allows you to do some bullet ant boot boosts way more often. The off tree is all about you sliding that furry gooch up and down river all game instead of sitting in lane like a normal support, so these runes help expedite said gooch sliding. Okay, let's go over how this needs to be played because I did my research and watched this dude's games to see what kind of psychotic patterns I could pick up to make this work, and it always started with just snow plowing the shit out of the first wave of midgets. This gets the lane pushing, and then he would always run up river to slip out a quick fart alone and put a ward down before rolling another big boy right into the second wave of hooded midgets to get an early level 2 and keep that lane pushed. And now it's time to slap on the roaming Randy cowboy hat and take a hike up river to look for some ass. I can tell you that a mid laner may be ready for a lot of things, but a yelpy 6-year-old Eskimo riding a pissed off Yeti coming to bury that booty in snow at level 2 is just not one of them. And 70% of the time, this cheddar cheese bullshit would work 100% of the time, getting us first blood. Even if the bladed bitty sucker just finished warding, I was still determined to give that woman a grade A whack with my Willump to secure some gold for our mid lane floating ice cube. And if mid is too pushed, you are in the area to play a quick game of dab on the crab or take a stroll in the forest. Here I caught some floating reaper in the act of planting pop rocks under the neighbor's dog, so I stormed in just to steal his money shot and then called up the snowball Zamboni to come plowing in like a reckless maniac before lighting his bitch ass on fire for a solo kill. At this point you typically have to go apologize to your ADC for leaving him all alone in lane, and I would do that by just mindlessly sitting on my W key without any regards for how to properly play this game. Here the vampire bride doesn't appreciate my drive-by and cucks me from landing the big boy, so I resort to a flash tit-tac patty whack, send this hoe back home to let these kids know that daddy is always just one snowball away. And other times you'll come strolling in just to wonder how many times your ADC was dropped on his head as a kid to be positioning in 1v2s the way he is, and you scoring a field goal with your snowball doesn't help the situation at all, but this Yeti packs a punch as a dueling douche in the early game. Here I took out Obama's wife alone and then held my own in a total slap fest with Lumberjack Lenny from Of Mice and Men until my Arctic cousin was able to come in and help me finish off the double. Oh, and another perk to playing this furry fuck riding midget is if you catch 2 morons setting up for a cheese festival, you can just call your jungler and mid over to turn the surprise around back on them. Then if you are like Rav, you build all this hype just to roll your snowball straight into the wall like a total inbred donkey. But luckily other people in this Elo are just as dumb, so it still worked out anyway. Now in terms of items, you always rush Nikes, but then you want to get a Proto Belt ASAP Rocky because that little shiver shift it gives you as an active lets you stay in range of the hotties to land your stun. Here I did it to secure a big blizzard on the British bombshell to send her back to base. Then Dead Man's Plate is the next item, but usually at that point you have either snowballed the other lanes or fallen horribly behind in XP and tilted the shit out of your ADC, so the game is pretty much already decided after your first 2 items. I figured maxing my snowball first would be dank memes, but the master always maxed the chomp first, which I can now see why. I get poked down in lane, I just take a bite out of this frog to heal back up. Snowplow a few midgets and do nothing useful? Go get another bite. Come back and get crystal cucked immediately, 1 more bite. Then finally build the courage to bum rush in and take that sexy sheriff down before getting the absolute hell out of that stupid fight you just single-handedly picked. It's just too good. Or like when you get that Niagara Falls notification, just hit him with a quick midget mastication to ensure that no Yetis get drowned today. So combine all these strategies and before you know it, you and the other sprinting giants on your team will be making bodacious booby beef sandwiches all the way to the bank. So there's the theory behind this bullshit strategy, so now it's time to see if I can prove that the sped shitters can still profit from pushing snowballs around the rift. Alright, so I started off the game by executing said snowball strats and I flattening the first wave of little midget employees like they were cookie dough. Then on round 2 I came in to take a firm chomp out of that chick's thick ass. But on the 3rd straight round of douchebag derby, the skeleton caught on and it resulted in this Yeti making like geese and getting the flock out of there. So I decided to go hit the shops to buy this albino Bigfoot some Nikes cause I wanted to turn this friendly looking fur ball into a pussy predator, and that's just what it did as I bam snowball zambonied Obama's wife and then commanded the little midget to pelt the bitch with some ice cubes to secure the first kill. Then it was time for me to hit the road and claim my title as roaming Rav, king of the annoying ass clowns, so I came rolling mid to interrupt the purple party going on and play a quick game of I don't need to see you to flatten your face. After which I followed up with a one-sided snowball fight to root the tranquilizing toddler before sending her home. At this point I should probably have gone backbot like a normal support, but I just couldn't resist the thought of meeting a real pirate, so I started up my troll roll and made a wide-ass path around the bend cause only the newer model snowballs have 3-point turning before splattering Scurvy Steve for the kill. Then a quick pit stop mid needed to be made because I heard the toddler of terror was shooting ambient darts at my teammates, so I come in to freeze the feet of that pocket-sized phony pharmacist before unleashing a lethal frost fart to end her career. But Midget Rav doesn't hop on this snow gorilla and ride across the map enduring the wicked ass chafing just to get one tiny kill, so I continue my careless chaos by giving Mr. Halloween Horse a taste of some piss snow to make him sit still during the Horny Crow show to secure some more G's. But you know, it wouldn't be an authentic Rav video without me showing off why I am a hard-stuck mouth breather, so I decide to tickle the loser with the lantern and let him play pin the tail in the tower range to give the guy who kidnapped the first lady some shutdown gold. Straight back to roaming Rav with a little mid-gank from base as baby Rapunzel burns flash thinking she can outrun this yelping Yeti rider. She steps out for a sec to take a bush piss and then we resume me pelting her ass until she sits still and I can give a little frozen queef quake before chomping her down. Then Ghost Rider thinks his dramatic entrance to the party will save things, but the pissy plant and Miss Purple Ice bail me out. And then a triggered Zoe decides to ask a dumb question as if the obvious answer wasn't in the fact that I was repetitively ripping her sped a-hole into pieces. But now I am self-conscious that people think I don't spend enough time at home with my partner, so I pay a visit bot and get this pent-up frustration out by bulldozing some bitch-ass pirate to take him down before. Wow, did anyone else get a bad lag spike there? Anyways, I decide to stay bot for 2 consecutive plays to show my commitment to this partnership as I come in to steamroll Scurvy Steve but bail out before that hooker can give me AIDS again. But this twinkle shit's aim reminds me of myself, so clearly we don't get a kill from it, and since Rav Daddy is always innovating, I come up with the brilliant idea to go flanky Frankie and tap these asses from the back by inconspicuously troll rolling past a pile of hooded midgets to ensure that they are just waiting for this idiot to arrive. And at this point I should probably have done what the League of Legends community always does and say this build or pick doesn't work despite making plays like this. Back to roaming Rav and I see Obama's wife fighting with nature, so I tell her red buff goes really well with getting splattered, lit on fire, and surprise bitch slapped by a starving scarecrow. Then I come back bot to ask the baby if she's all done with the purple hair dye by hitting her with a quick snowplow before executing a flawless shift shitter into snow stun into poorly timed ult pop into waste a summoner spell and chomp just to steal a kill as a support combo, to which she accuses me of smurfing, which just goes to show that she has no idea who I am. But I am flattered, so I hit her with one more flanky Frankie get snowball spanky to help her hit the 10 death power spike, but that prompts the quitters to say they have had enough snow and we take home the fat victory for the boys. My team votes that I have the biggest win, and I have to say that excluding my usual dumbassery, I do think this strategy has the potential to do well in solo queue in the hands of a good player. Quick shout out to my sugar daddies out there. I mentioned that I will be starting a second channel with another famous YouTuber around troll bot lane comps just to have fun, so I am thinking a good way to reward my supporters on Patreon would be giving them priority to queue up with us in those games we are recording for content. Pet your dog, jerk your ween, buy my merch and brush your teeth tonight. Rav out.